Sheena Howard here, founder of Power Your Research, an academic branding company where I help academics and educators increase their visibility, authority, and income without the expense of a publicist. Today, I'm going to talk about choosing blog topics. And before I jump into choosing blog topics based on SEO, which is a better way to think about what you should be writing about on your blog, I'm gonna just go over why I started a blog in the first place to help give you context, even help you understand the importance of a blog in today's social media online landscape. And then I'll talk about how I used to choose topics. And then I'll talk about how I choose them now and go into a few different ways you can use SEO to choose blog topics that will actually attract the audience that you can serve. And so to start, why I started a blog. So in building your brand, one of the things that I teach in the Power Your Research program is once you get clarity, once you get media coverage and visibility, we really want to nail down on increasing your income. So how can you serve a specific type of person, which is a group of people, and give them value based on your area of expertise and the things that you care about. And one way to attract those people to you is to write blog topics for that specific audience. So as they are searching on Google, they can find answers to their questions and hopefully they land on your blog and enter into your sales funnel so that they can buy things from you that will help them. And so the reason why I started a blog in the first place before getting my SEO certificate and really understanding the intricacies of SEO, because I understood SEO on a surface level. Now I understand how it actually works with the algorithm and that kind of thing. So originally I started my Power Your Research blog because one, my business coach said you need a blog. And then I started to understand that when you give help content, right, answering people's questions, helping them, helping your target audience, it's a way to funnel people into your network so that you can better serve them, engage them, and interact with them. But as I was creating blog topics, going into how I used to choose topics, as I was creating blog topics, I was using the questions that people were asking me and then writing blog pieces based off of what my target audience was asking me. And that's great. That's what you should be doing. So for anyone first starting out, that's a great place to start. If your audience is asking you questions, that means they're on Google searching for those questions. That means other people like them are searching for answers to those questions. And you certainly want to create blog posts around those questions. That's if you're already doing it that way, if you're not doing it all, that's a great place to start. That's how I started out. And now 3 years later, I'm getting a lot of organic traffic from people finding me on Google and ending up on sales calls with me because of those blogs. So that's great. And key word there is 3 years in. So I've been writing blog posts for 3 years. And so this doesn't, you don't get credibility from Google within the first month or even year. You have to constantly put out the right content. But now that I have my SEO certificate and I've learned lots of the intricacies of SEO and how it actually works, now I understand why I'm starting to get that organic traffic. And now I can double down on actual data that's going to get my blog in front of more of the right types of people, which I'm going to go into 3 ways with you that you can use right now after this video without having to take an SEO course and get a certificate. So the first method that I want to talk to you about is Google Trends. Google Trends. It's free. And what Google Trends allows you to do is find out what people are searching for on Google and what's trending in terms of the queries that people are asking Google. So, for example, my company, Power Your Research, serves academics. And from academics, I can drill down on tenured professors, faculty, instructors, adjuncts, etc. But if I know a little bit about my audience, which I do, I know that one of the things that they deal with is imposter syndrome. And so if I type in imposter syndrome in Google Trends, I can click on imposter syndrome, and then it'll go even deeper into the different queries that are trending around the phrase imposter syndrome. And one of the things that I discovered recently doing this in Google Trends is that people have been searching for imposter syndrome memes. And so that is really valuable information. So, right, I would not have thought about imposter syndrome memes if I didn't do this Google Trends research. But since I know that my audience is already interested in this topic, I already have 2 or 3 blog posts on how to deal with imposter syndrome, causes of imposter syndrome. Now I'm going to go back and write an additional blog post on imposter syndrome, but include memes in the article because that is something that people are already looking for. And so I want to get some of that traffic when someone types in imposter syndrome memes in Google. I'm hoping to get some of that traffic to my website. Now, in Google Trends, you can go even deeper than that. You can get specific to locations, which I'll talk about in a second, to see where people are typing in these queries, which will be super valuable to you for generating content. So check out Google Trends. Go as deep as you can to learn about the phrases and the connected phrases and the trending keywords that audiences are looking for. And from there, start to think about how you can incorporate that into blog and make it a long form blog post. The second thing I want to talk to you about is that Google is getting really smart in the way the algorithm works and it's always evolving. And synonyms are super important. So for me in Google Trends, when I type in academic branding, nothing comes up. So nobody's typing in Google search academic branding coach, right? But people are typing in things related to what I do, such as TED Talks, right? So Google now is recognizing synonyms. So my audience would respond to phrases like thought leader. But another way to say thought leader, right? Or another way to even say an academic building a brand could be thought leader, but it also could be public intellectual, right? It also, quite frankly, could be like famous professor. But understanding that Google uses synonyms to also return results means that now I can start creating blog posts that use these synonyms. So, for example, if I have a blog post right now that's called 5 Tips to Building an Academic Brand, and I give the 5 tips, I actually think that's one of my more popular posts despite academic branding not being a search term. But now I can go back in and do 5 tips for PhDs to become thought leaders, right? And so, same sort of article, but now I know the keywords that people are typing in that are synonymous with academic branding that will bring more results and more people to my page by using those synonyms. So, public intellectual is a phrase that an academic might be typing in as opposed to thought leader. And so, again, I could write a blog post, 5 ways to become a public intellectual. And so, knowing the synonyms, knowing that Google uses synonyms, what you're going to want to do is create blog topics, 3 variations of blog topics that may be similar with different synonyms in the title and throughout the content and changing things up a little bit. And then the third thing I want to share with you is location based. So using Google Trends, you can really narrow down to where a lot of the search queries are coming from for a specific phrase, topic, or keyword. So for example, I know my audience cares about TEDx talks and TED talks. And so I typed in Google Trends TED Talks. And as I clicked on TED Talks, right, it gave me related searches. You can also, it also shows you the locations of where this phrase is being searched for the most in Google. And one of the things that came up was UCLA. Okay, UCLA. And so now I know that I can use that information to create a blog post topic in which this particular geographical location is looking for that thing. So I can go in and write a blog post topic dissecting a TED talk from UCLA. So there's a lot of TED Talks that took place at UCLA, and I'll write a blog post. Here's an amazing TEDx talk over at UCLA. I'm going to give you 5 takeaways from this TED Talk to share with you why this is an amazing TED Talk and how your next TED Talk can be just as amazing. So now when people type in TED Talk UCLA, it's more of a chance that my content will come up in that query that the user is searching for. And so those are just 3 amazing things that I learned from the SEO course. And I'm tying this in this video specifically to creating blog post topics, because writing long form blogs is super important to building your brand. I know it seems like everybody just wants short, quick videos on like Instagram and TikTok and that kind of thing. But the truth is, the people that are probably going to buy a high ticket thing from you or even a low ticket thing from you, they want to see that you can go deep into a topic and that you know what you're talking about. So a 1 minute video is great, but it's probably not going to get someone enrolled in your thing that you're selling, especially if it's a high ticket thing. But if they can click on that video and get to your link and get to your blog and see that, oh man, this person goes deep, he or she really knows what they are talking about, that establishes credibility and trust with the people that you want to reach. And if someone's on your blog, it's probably more likely, especially if they're reading the entire blog post, it's probably more likely that they are closer to your target audience than the random person just discovering you in a cool video that you posted on TikTok or Instagram or wherever it is. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to drop them in the chat or DM me. And I hope this was helpful, and have an amazing